The draft resolution reflecting the unanimous demand of the international community for immediate and unconditional ceasefire in Gaza was rejected by United States veto. United States in particular is expanding nuclear-sharing military alliance system while escalating military pressure and provocation against the DPRK.
In today's video, we are going to take a look at what the ambassador from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the DPRK, commonly known as North Korea, has said about the conflicts. There's a lot of news in the media about North Korea involvement in the Ukraine war. There's a lot of propaganda. We're going to look at a couple of articles, and I'm going to react to what the ambassador has said, and he seems to have been very clear. So you're going to have to stick around and wait till the end to see all of my reactions. Before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, help out the algorithm. So the first thing we're going to do is look at some news articles. First one here by the BBC says, what do we know about North Korean troops in Ukraine? And there's a picture of the North Korean troops getting ready to go and fight. Now we do have a video where I talk a lot about this topic, and I suggest you go back and watch that video because it will give you some context into what is happening going on here. It says when rumors first emerged in October that North Korean troops were starting to support Russia's war in Ukraine, it wasn't immediately clear what role they would be fulfilling. And it also talks about the lack of battlefield experience was given as a key reason why they might just be assigned to non-combat roles. Yeah, that is something I had talked about in our last video about North Korea and Ukraine. Yeah, the BBC, here they are. They are stating the obvious. Captain Obvious here. Yeah, they are stating that they are most likely in non-combat roles. If you go on YouTube here or on some of the Ukrainian websites, you'll see reports like 500 North Koreans killed by one ATACMS missile. We see a lot of these funny things coming from the green t-shirt men. I don't know that any of them are believable. Sounds about like a Ghost of Kiev story. Yeah, that is the green t-shirt propaganda. It does go on here. It says, but after the U.S. and Ukraine revealed North Korean troops have already engaged in combat with Ukrainian soldiers, their role in the fight is being re-evaluated. Yeah, they're not really sure. Yeah, we still, as I said, keep hearing stories. But here it is, the BBC telling us what we need to know here. They're being a bit more accurate. Even the number being deployed, usually put at around 11,000 by the Pentagon, has been debated. 11,000, certainly a lot more than 0. Yeah, it is quite possible they are there for non-combat role, and we're about to see what the ambassador has to say. We'll shed some light on what is going on, so please stick around to hear what he has to say. But we're going to look here. According to Bloomberg, unnamed sources believe Pyongyang may actually deploy as many as 100,000 troops. Unnamed sources. Yeah, it's the green t-shirt. We know exactly it's the green t-shirt and the people around him. And it may even be coming from the Z state, because let's take a look at how the ambassador opened up his remarks.
Only a week ago, here in this chamber, the draft resolution reflecting the unanimous demand of the international community for immediate and unconditional ceasefire in Gaza was rejected by United States veto. The result was the rise of the abnormal situation of the throwing into darkness and despair the Palestinian people in their aspiration for survival and abetting Israel's nefarious atrocity of the mass killings. However, UN Security Council laid aside the most pressing security issue at the present time when we witness tragedy of merciless killings that could even make Hitler blush with shame. Overwhelmed by a high-handed practice of the one permanent member of the Security Council, it has convened a meeting that completely runs counter to the fundamental principle enshrined in the UN Charter. Now, this is truly disgrace to be condemned by international community.
So now we have heard the opening statement of the North Korean ambassador, and he has called out the U.S. for vetoing the ceasefire resolution in Gaza, and even has compared the BB Nuttyhead to a certain mustache man from Germany. Yeah, I think he is very much right on there. He has hit the mark. Very few people have actually said it, and it's good to hear this statement in the UN because, well, I have a lot of videos talking about what's going on in Gaza, and I think he has hit the mark here. Yeah, we can continue to listen to what he has to say because he's also going to talk about what's going on in Ukraine and what the role might be.
As has been clarified on several occasions, the Ukrainian crisis was started by United States and Western forces that ignore a legitimate security interests and the right to territorial integrity of Russia and pursued NATO's reckless eastward expansion under the ambition to maintain their hegemonic world order. It is none other than United States and Western forces that ruptured hard-won peace talks between Russia and Ukraine at the beginning of the event, and that caused an also civilian casualty and prolonged the crisis by systematically supplying the various lethal weapons to Kiev authority, obsessed with the pipe dream to deal a strategic blow to Russia. Today, the Ukrainian crisis is plunging into almost grave and irreversible phase as present U.S. administration, nearing end of its term, has irresponsibly allowed the Kiev authority to strike area with Russia with weapons supplied by it, and some Western countries followed suit. Ukraine invaded Russia's Kursk in August, the killing numerous civilians, and recently, with public support from United States and the West, it even went on to commit a dangerous crime of attacking Russian territory, using United States surface-to-surface missile ATACMS and UK air-to-surface cruise missile Storm Shadow. All facts give a clear answer to who is main culprit that further escalating Ukrainian war and aggravating tensions. Russia's counterstrike on November 21st is the exercise of the just and legitimate right to self-defense and served as a serious warning to the U.S. and Western countries in the war mania. The pressing issue to be addressed at the U.S. Security Council at the present is the act of undermining peace by the United States and its allies that are inciting confrontation and conflict among countries while running amok to strengthen aggressive alliance and arms buildup driven by their ambition for hegemony.
Now we have heard about what he's saying about Ukraine and about the Kursk incursion. And that is something I talked about in my original video about how NATO, yeah, it is NATO that has trained these mercenaries. A lot of videos talking about the mercenaries in Ukraine. We even got video talking about some of the crimes they've committed against the civilians. And the civilians are obviously Slavic, Russians, and Ukrainians. Yeah, NATO does not have Ukraine's interest in heart. And I think that's exactly what the ambassador is saying. So I think he is right on again. He has hit the mark. So we do have another news article from Russia today talking about the Russian defense minister visiting North Korea. And that could also shed some light on what is happening. So it says the Russian defense minister, Andrei Belosov, I don't think I said his name correctly, is visiting North Korea for talks with his counterpart, No Kwang-chol, focusing on implementing a strategic cooperation agreement that Moscow and Pyongyang have sealed this year. Yeah, as I've said before, they do have a defense treaty, a mutual treaty. Russia actually has a treaty with quite a few countries. That will be a topic of an upcoming video, so you'll have to like this video and subscribe to the channel to find out about it. They have a defense treaty with countries like Kazakhstan and Belarus, Armenia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and as I said, it's a different topic, but it is an alliance, and we have seen that alliance go to work before. They also have an alliance with North Korea, and they're also in the process of creating one with Iran. They're also making relations with Afghanistan. Yeah, this could get very interesting here. So you'll have to keep an eye on our channel because we'll bring you all that news. So it says the treaty is designed to play a stabilizing role in Northeast Asia to contribute positively to preserving the balance of power in the region and reduce the risk of war reigniting on the Korean Peninsula, including the use of nuclear weapons. Yeah, Russia has put all their allies, that would include these STAN countries, as well as countries like Belarus and Armenia, under their nuclear umbrella. There's also conflict in Syria, who's also an ally of Russia. This is definitely something to keep an eye on. I do have a video where I talk about who is going to push the red button first, and I don't think it's going to be Putin. So you have to go and watch that video too. Yeah, it says the North Korean minister said he appreciated the energetic exchanges and cooperation between the military departments of the two nations. Yeah, we're going to listen to the last part of the ambassador's speech, where he has clarified what the treaty means.
United States in particular is expanding nuclear sharing military alliance system while escalating military pressure and provocation against the DPRK through deployment of its vast array of the strategic strike means and forces of the allies in the vicinity of our state. Such being the case, United States is still picking holes on legitimate development of the relation between independent sovereign states by mastering its satellite forces. It cannot but mockery of an insult to the UN Charter. Under the Treaty on Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, which fully conformed to UN Charter and international law, the DPRK and Russian Federation are developing bilateral relations in all fields, including politics, economy, military, and culture, and maintaining contact with regard to each other's security and development of the situation. The DPRK will remain faithful to its obligation under the treaty and continue to strengthen and develop relations with the Russian Federation in order to defend fundamental interests of the peoples of both countries, contribute to regional and global peace and security, and realize international justice.
So we have heard from the ambassador, and yep, he has clarified that their relationship is based on defense, not on offensive measures. As we have surmised before, there may be troops in Kursk. It seems like they are not in combat. They may be there for training, just as BBC has enlightened us about. Yeah, I think the BBC has made the correct assumption here. It is very clear here, even though the two countries, they haven't said, and really they don't need to say, because the North Korean troops are not on the front lines, and they're not being killed by the green t-shirt men, as much as the green t-shirt supporters would like to brag about it. That is just not happening, just like there was no ghost of Kiev. Yeah, that's our conclusion for today. So, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. And we will see you in the next episode.